You hear about it all the time. Man, I hate Carolina rigging. Anybody out here in that group? I see there's a couple hands. I'm gonna convert you guys here today. I'm gonna try my best. People hate, the other one that people are hating on too is the Senko. People hate fishing the Senko and they hate fishing the Carolina rig. And I don't know why that is, because they're both monster fish catchers. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the things that I do to make them successful. We're going to be talking about the Carolina rig today. Now, the Carolina rig is simple. For those of you, I'm sure most of you know what it is, but it's simply a weight system, and I have one rigged up here on my rod. You can hear it jiggling around. It's got a weight, could be anywhere from 1/4 ounce up to even 1.5 ounces, and it's above a swivel, and then you've got anywhere from a 2 to 4 foot leader, and then you're going to have some piece of soft plastic, some type of creature or subtle little bait depending on the situation, and you're going to have that off at the end. It's a really, really cool system that I've been using for years. The very first professional tournament that I've ever won, I won catching most of my spotted bass all on the Carolina rig, on this rig right here. But one of the cool things I like about it, and the way I think about it, is it's a way to power fish, to be able to be in control with a big rod, some heavier line, but you're fishing weightless. You're fishing a bait that at the end of the cast is going to be falling weightless in an ultra finesse style approach. So it's a really great way to accomplish that using the Carolina rig. I don't know another way that you can be that effective, that efficient, cover as much water, weightless and finesse as you can using the Carolina rig. And what does it do differently? We've got the drop shot. The drop shot has taken over the world. Aaron came with the West Coast contingent and started showing us all how to do that and winning a lot of money on it. And it is a great, great deep water approach to fishing. You got the shaky head. Now you've got something called the Nico rig, which are all great applications that live in the world where the Carolina rig lives, which is the reason why I think a lot of guys have gotten away from it. Because there's so many different options, and in some cases better options. One's always better than the other depending on the condition. But what this does differently is it can trigger strikes differently. A drop shot, you can fish in one spot for a long period of time and you can trigger a very finicky bass. A Carolina rig allows you to impact, to deflect off of that stump, off of that rock, to capture that fish's attention and to cause them to chase. It creates a strike that isn't created by some of those other techniques. So it's a completely different look. We talk about fishing a crankbait from different angles, different speeds, different ways to trigger those fish. This is a different way to trigger a bite. A lot of times it'll trigger a bite that some of those other ones miss. But because of those other ones, people have forgotten about it. You don't hear much about it. I was surprised down at the Lake Martin tournament that they just had down there. Nobody fished the Carolina rig down there. And when the fish are suspended and they're up off the bottom, this isn't necessarily your best tool. I think that's what we saw a little bit of down there. But we just don't, people have forgotten about it, but I haven't. And there's a lot of us in this room. Anybody that loves fishing a Carolina rig other than me? Yeah, not quite half the room. It's a way to be so consistent and catch fish, and it catches them all over the country. So I don't want to forget about it. It gets a bad rap as being not a big fish catcher or not a winning technique. And, right, how many people have heard that? Catches only small fish. When you throw a Carolina rig, you've given up. You've given up that day. You're just trying to get a bite. Let me tell you, Paul Elias has the heaviest winning stringer in the history of Bassmaster competition on a Carolina rig. Tons and tons of tournaments on a professional level, local level. They're won with a Carolina rig. And of course, I won my very first tournament, which was right down here at Lake Martin in Alabama. A lot of you guys fish Lake Martin, and you all saw the tournament they just had down there. But I won my very first tournament fishing the Carolina rig. And a mop jig. And a mop jig. Got to throw the Carolina rig haters, got to throw that in there. Can't let me get away with using just the Carolina rig. But here's something else that I think is one of the best things about this.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Glusek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.